What's up? Welcome back to the Sixth Man Podcast. I'm your host, Phil Dunn. Excited for a new episode this week. I'm joined by Kevin Garrison. Kevin played at the University of Vermont. He tells some great stories about growing up playing basketball in Burlington and for Burlington High School, and then eventually at the University of Vermont. And then talks a little bit about his transition into the coaching world. He tells some really good stories. I'm excited for you to hear it. Let's shoot over to that interview. All right. I'm here with Kevin Garrison. Kevin, thanks for hopping on the pod. How you doing, man?
Good. Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, of course. So I wanted to talk a little bit about like your beginnings in basketball to start. So like how did you start playing? What age did you start playing? And like who put the ball in your hands when you first started?
Yeah. So I started playing probably when I was like 5. My dad put the ball in my hands. My dad was a football player.
Okay.
He never played basketball, so uh, he couldn't really teach me much, but he put me in the right rooms. And so like just we had a thing called Parks and Rec, which was what a lot of kids did when they were young. Easy way to get into sports, and kind of just started from there, and played all since I was 5 till my senior year in college.
You were a football guy too, right?
Yeah. I played football throughout too, in high school.
Was there like a sport you preferred? Like were you did you lean either way or was it kind of equal for you?
Dude, I loved football too. I think for like all the concussion and like kind of like the findings that came out with like football related injuries and stuff like that to the head. I think
Yeah.
that's why I veered away from it going to college. I did at one point was thinking about doing a double sport and talk to some schools, but I just think ultimately like that's kind of why I went with basketball is just I didn't think football was the best choice for me going forward, just for health
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah, I definitely hear you on
But I
that.
loved it. It was so fun.
Yeah. Um, so obviously you grew up in Burlington. So when you were like a kid, did you grow up like watching UVM's basketball team, like going to games and stuff, idolizing those guys?
Yeah, I didn't honestly. I didn't watch a ton of UVM basketball games. What I did do is I always went to the camps. There was
Okay,
always a UVM. I like have a photo of me with my actually the coach who I coach with now at Burlington High School. He was like a coach and mentor to me growing up. And there's a photo of me at like UVM basketball camp, like getting an award next to him with the whole award thing, which is
that's
super cool.
awesome.
So I went to all of those and it was like cool being around the players and stuff. Obviously, it was super cool, but what I really honestly idolized was a lot of the Burlington guys. My parents um, we would always, and also we didn't like kind of have a ton of money to go to the college games all the time, but it was easy. Like you would pay like a few bucks to get into the high school games. And like I said, my dad wasn't a huge basketball guy. He didn't really play it. So it was easy. So that's when we started going and I would always love watching those guys play. I think I would like went to every game down near when I was a kid, like had my super fan shirt on, would go to like the camp. So it was like a mixture between like really idolizing the local guys. They also I had like the assistant coach lived right across from me, and the guys would always be outside playing, and
Yeah.
I would try to like sneak. I would like fake roll my ball down the driveway and have it go to their driveway. To hopefully they would ask me to shoot with them. So I do
Yeah,
think I had a mixture of idolizing the local high school guys when I was a kid, and also some of the UVM guys.
that's awesome. It's probably like full circle moment, like growing up watching those guys, then playing for Burlington, and now like back on the coaching end. I'm sure it's like full circle for you. You get to see
Yeah,
like every end of the spectrum.
yeah. Super full circle.
So talk a little bit about like your experience as a high school player at Burlington. What was your journey like in high school?
Yeah, man. My high school experience was like really special. I think we had a group of so like kind of like the rundown, the little hometown rundowns. We had this rival school, Rice, super good. Uh,
Private school,
and
right?
Rice, yeah, and they
Yeah,
always would dabble into Burlington players, and I think Rice does offer great opportunities for kids too, and that's what made the rival so fun.
yeah.
But they would always like sometimes Burlington guys would go there and they'd recruit some of the guys, and so I think my year none of us went to Rice. It was like I was on varsity freshman year, and then there was a sophomore teammate of mine that stayed at Burlington, and the older guys stayed at Burlington, and so it was really special because we won it my sophomore year altogether, and we beat Rice. My freshman year, we went to the finals, lost to Rice. Sophomore year, we won it. I don't know. It was really special. We didn't win for like 9 years or 8 years, something like that, until us. And then we recently won this year. So, but when I was a player, yeah, that was super special. I think it was fun winning that with the kids you grew up with. And I think that's why it's so special. And winning in front of the community that you like see all the time, go to a local gas station. People are like, oh, how's the team? This and that. So it's like really full circle when you win it with the same people you grew up with, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So did you play like AAU ball or anything in high school?
Yeah, we played. I played on a team called Lone Wolf, which was like it was like a premier club basketball team in Vermont where they take all the best players and put them on one team. So like the 10, 8, 9 best players in the state. We also had a couple of New York guys actually playing for us too. Um, and to be able to compete with some of these teams, because obviously Vermont, like compared to some of these teams in New York and stuff like that, like the competition is really high. So trying to put together the best players in Vermont gave us a pretty good chance competing. And we were pretty solid. Like we beat some known teams like Middlesex Magic and stuff like that.
Okay.
My last year of AAU, we went to the nationals in Florida and actually won the D2 nationals down there to top off, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we had a really good squad, I think, throughout and won some tournaments. But yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. So like kind of like what we talked about before, being like a dual sport guy, football and basketball. When you're like in high school and it's just time to decide like where you want to do in college, where you want to go, what you want to play, what was like your recruitment process like? Obviously, you talked a little bit about why you chose basketball, but like what kind of interest did you have recruitment wise coming out of high school?
Yeah, I think honestly, man, like I slipped up on recruitment. I think I was one of those kids that like didn't do a lot of reaching out. I had coaches reach out to me a good amount, like D3, and then I
Yeah,
started to talk to St. Mike's. I had my AU coach reach out to them, and we did a lot of back and forth. And then I was gonna go there, and then I went and I was committed to going there to play. Um, and then I went and played pickup at UVM with the guys that summer. And the coach asked me if I'd want to walk on there. So then I ended up calling my St. Mike's coach and be like, hey, like I'd rather go to UVM, like just better opportunity, I think, all around. And
yeah,
that's kind of how that ended up. But I honestly think that was a huge mistake. And I was just talking in a class, and anytime I talk to athletes and stuff, I think outreach is like the biggest thing. I think it's the biggest thing for anything, whether it's sports, um, business, working a program and trying to find sponsors, whatever it is. Like I think outreach is always the most important thing. Like especially today with the whole NIL thing. I mean, it's like the whole basketball landscape has changed, and I think what's really honestly valuable at this stage of coaches to filter through players, unless you're like some 5-star. I
yeah.
don't know if you got any 5 stars at your school you coach, but like,
No, no.
like we don't have in Vermont. There's no like 5-star or whatever.
Yeah,
Occasionally, you might get that, but so like I think honestly, it's super important to just get your name out there, find a list of coaches, and find the emails and have a template and just spam send it, because I think
yeah,
it's really valuable for coaches to just see that a kid's interested, because all they're doing now is like chasing people around. People are chasing the bag. So if you can show a coach you're interested, I think that really is valuable to them in this day and age of the college basketball landscape. And I think it was always valuable. And I think I really slept on that. I was really bad at that. That was a really big regret.
yeah.
But that's something I always tell kids now. I don't know what your opinion on all that is. What do you
I
think?
I mean, I could not agree with you more about that stuff. Like I tell my guys all the time, like nobody, again, unless you're like a 5-star recruit, nobody's coming and knock on your door with a scholarship offer. Like you have to be proactive if you want to play college basketball. You're gonna have to reach out to coaches. Which is something like my brother played in college. That was something that like he emailed probably 100 coaches. That's just if you're a Division 3, Division 2 guy, that's kind of the way it is. What you have to do. But yeah, no, that's definitely a great point you bring up. I wanted to touch back on kind of the Saint Mike's thing. Um, so when you told the coach you were going to UVM, how did that conversation go? Was it like awkward at all? Was that a tough conversation to have?
It was a little awkward, but it
Yeah,
actually wasn't. they were super understanding. They were just like, if this is your decision, like we're not going back. And I was like, yeah, this is my decision. Um, but like they're understanding. Then a day, like, you got to do what's best for you. I did,
100%.
and
Yeah.
like it was like they also, I think at the time, I didn't end up getting a scholarship spot. It was between like me and this other kid, and they gave the scholarship to the other kid. But then in D2, they have less scholarships in D1.
Yeah.
And then so they still said I could come. I just didn't have a scholarship going into that year. And so, like, I don't know, with me, I'm just like super ambitious. So when I'm given the same opportunity at the University of Vermont, which is like obviously super Division 1, all that,
Yeah.
I think they understand like most kids would probably sway that way.
Yeah.
And so I was just doing what's best for me. And I think they were really cool at understanding that. And the coach was super cool. He's actually not there anymore, but he was really cool.
So once you get to UVM, what did it mean to you to be a part of the team there? Like obviously being like a local Burlington kid, what was that whole experience like?
Yeah, it was super cool, man. I my locker buddy was Ben Shungu, who was like, he's a Vermont legend, one of the best players to ever play at UVM, and definitely one of the best players, if not the best player, to come out of Vermont. Or he's up there with some others. There's also some other legends, and so it was super cool. It was like cool being by his side for the few years, and also I just met some of my best friends to this day on that team. And the whole experience, it's like, dude, it's a grind. You go through the summer.
Yeah.
It's some of the other D1 sports like don't go through summer. Basketball, like you go through summer, you might go like kids go home for like a month and then you're back at it all through the summer, all through school year. So it's like a really long season. Um, and yeah, I learned a lot. It was just like when you go and play in college, man, you're like the few, like everyone's good, everyone's athletic, guys are bigger than
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
So it's like you just learn a lot. You learn to compete. I love competing. I'm a competitor, so it was like fun in that way. Um, so yeah, man, it was an eye opening experience for sure.
Yeah. So you mentioned Ben. Was he like a guy that you grew up playing with in high school? Had,
Yeah,
had you
so
guys like crossed paths already?
yeah, he played at Rice. So my
Okay.
freshman year, he beat us in the championship. My
Okay.
sophomore year, we beat him, but he won like 3 championships out of the 4 years he was at Rice. He was really good. So his senior year, he lost to us. So for a couple years, we'd go back and forth on the court, and then so on UVM, it was like super cool. And I knew him just like we knew each other in high school and off the court too. And then so
Yeah.
being a locker buddy with him at UVM was super cool, and getting to experience that. And we went to the tournament my freshman year, and that was a really cool experience. We played Florida State. So yeah, the whole experience was like really cool throughout.
Yeah, I'm sure like traveling the country playing in the tournament, especially like obviously being a mid major, but perennially like one of the best mid majors in the country. Like I think I saw a
Yeah,
stat recently that was like in the last decade, I think UVM has like the fifth most conference wins in the country or something like
yeah,
that.
the program is doing really well. Has always been
Yeah.
doing really well.
What's the coach's name? John Becker, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What was it like playing for him?
I think he does well. He's had like a good coaching staff too, and I think what it seems like to me is like he works well with that coaching staff, and he's had a lot of good minds and keeps a lot of good minds around him, and he knows how to. I think the biggest thing for him truly is. I think he would say that too. He was always emphasizing culture, and I think the culture of UVM basketball when I was there. I think a lot of the alums would say that was, you know, you had each other's backs. Like everyone was good. Character was very important. Didn't matter what you did on the floor. If you don't have good character, then you don't belong in this locker room. So I think
Yeah.
how he maintained culture and built that, it translated to on the court, and he was really good at that. And then he had, I think, a lot of good coaches with the X and O's. And so when I think, yeah, it says it all. He's an amazing coach. I mean, his record is crazy, and what he's done for the
Yeah.
program is insane. And so, yeah, he'll be a legend forever. It was really cool. I mean, it's awesome to have been coached by a guy with, you know, as successful as him. So I am grateful for that.
So you kind of mentioned before, like now you're on the other end of the spectrum coaching at Burlington High School. What's it like being on the other side? And like, do you think from having so much experience playing and playing at the Division 1 level, like you have a lot of like valuable lessons to teach to younger kids that are coming up? And which is what's it like coaching now in general?
Yeah, coaching has been cool. I'm really grateful for it. I think I've built a lot of connections with the kids, especially at Burlington. Really full circle for me.
Yeah,
I think UVM taught me a lot of things that I didn't know a lot. It made me a lot better, like my IQ a lot better. And so helping kids out with that these days. And I think this year I was like on the defensive side. So BJ Robinson, who's the head coach, he let me run the defense. And that was really fun to step into that role as a head assistant, kind of being the guy on the defensive end and creating a system. Um, I felt like that's something I learned from UVM in college basketball is like having a system. So like it's not about feelings. Like we're all bought into doing this, this, and this. If
yeah.
you're not at
It's
that
like
spot,
rules.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And so like people's emotions get out of it. So if you're not at that spot or you're not there, it doesn't matter what you think. We're all bought into doing this. And so I think it makes everyone on the same page, and it kind of helps you correct errors. So when you watch film, there's no excuse. Like this is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're giving up. This is how we're allowing to get beat. If that happens, then we get beat. But you got to do this, this, and this right. And I think that is like was super important, creating a system where um, really that's how you can get a team better, I think.
Do you mind if I ask like, what some of your principles are defensively? Are you like strictly man? Do you like to work in zone?
Yeah, we're strictly man. I think we like to play.
Love
um
that. Love
I
that. I
think
think all high school should be playing man. I'm not.
yeah,
I'm not a
is
very
that what
big
you do at
zone.
yours?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of zone. I'm like strictly man, ball pressure constantly.
Yeah, that's exactly. We have a really athletic team too, so it plays in
Yeah,
our advantage. And we'd full court press and this and that. I think a big principle for us. I don't know what you do. I'm curious, but I'm big into like pushing. Um, don't allow not allowing middle.
yeah,
So we kind
100%
of veer
agree.
our defenders to sidelines and baseline, and the help comes from we call it the hole, but we don't. The whole point is don't get beat middle.
Yeah,
And so that's like a big thing. We practice a lot of closeouts. I think a lot of basketball is off the catch and then penetration off that. And so if you can, you know, stop that rotation by someone driving with a good closeout and have to reset the offense, it helps the defense out a lot. So yeah, what about you? What do you guys do?
yeah. I love that you said that because we kind of do similar thing. Like we constant ball pressure, whether it's full court or like pressuring right over half court. Pretty much all man. I mean, as like a wrinkle, I'm not against working in zone every once in a while, but 95% man. We don't give up middle. That's like something as an assistant coach, like you'll constantly hear me yelling on the bench. It's like no middle, no middle, no
Yeah,
middle.
yeah,
But yeah, we try to funnel sideline, funnel like corner. Like something we kind of try to teach our kids is like, especially at the high school level, public high school level, it is way harder to score, at least in my opinion, like from the baseline as opposed to from the middle as an offensive player. So to try to force baseline, not give up middle, and keep the ball stuck on one side. Like especially offensively, it's way easier to score when you're moving the ball side to side and getting reversals and paint touches.
right.
So if we can keep it on one side, that's something that we really harp on and really preach. So it's good to hear that you agree with that and teach similar things.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm glad we're on the same page.
So do you was coaching like something that you like kind of always planned on doing? Was it something like an opportunity came up and you decided you want to do it, or how did you get into coaching?
um, Dude, I'm 25. My life's kind of everywhere right now, working on some
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
and
I
but
feel
I'm big
that.
into I don't know, man. I'm like big into paying it forward. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm a guy that kind of reflect on his life. I'm really grateful for the people who have been part of my life within sports and other ways, and who have impacted me. And I think because like I dedicate so much time to sports and know a lot about basketball, it's an easy gateway into paying it forward for me. And so when the opportunity came up, BJ. Um,
was it
Last
the
year,
same coach that you played for? Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
yeah,
Yeah,
same coach that
okay.
I played for, and a lot of kids on the team, like are the same kids that kind of watch me play, which is super
Oh,
cool. I
that's
have so
awesome.
many
That's
photos,
awesome.
but so yeah, he asked me. I was on the coaching staff just as like a second assistant, the 2023, 24 year, and then this past year, I was head assistant. And so that's kind of how that came to be. I just came on a non-paid position. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if you're coaching high school basketball, like you're not doing it as much for any type of,
Yeah, no way.
monetary gain.
Yeah,
It's
no, no way.
it's purely because you have a passion, and maybe if you can see yourself coaching at the next level, it's a good step into that. But yeah, so he asked me, and I was, at that point in my life, I was like, this is a great way to stay connected with the community. I'm big into building community, and so I think that's important, especially in the world today with how much division we have.
Yeah,
And so yeah, I think it was a perfect opportunity for me, and where I aligned purpose wise, and so I took that, and then I've been rolling with it since. And I think I'm gonna coach this year again in the same position, unless something comes up and I end up
yeah,
not being in town, or like
yeah, yeah.
job or whatever. But yeah,
Is it something that you would like down the line want to continue to do once you kind of get more settled in whatever you're doing in your personal life, or is it just kind of year by year?
yeah, it's like it's possible for sure. I
Yeah,
think it's right now it's like year by year. Like I said, I think that my life's very up in the air right now. I think that it fits in this moment in time. I'm a big person that's like each moment in time
yep,
because I think life can change very quickly. And so I think in this moment in time, like it's definitely something that interests me and I have a passion for. And yeah, we'll see. What about you? Are you trying to?
yeah. I'm trying to coach for as long as I can.
That's awesome.
I've really like fallen in love with the coaching side of it.
What do you
Um,
like so much about it?
Kind of like what you were saying, like the community aspect. Like I coach at the same high school I played at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
just like
okay.
yeah, and kind of like what you said, like a lot of the kids, like I played with their older brothers, so like I've known them and they've known me since they were
Yeah,
little. So just to kind of see them growing up and try to, like you said, pay it forward, give back any way I can, and help to guide young people. And just kind of not that obviously I don't have anything, like I don't have it all figured out. I don't have all the answers to anything, but just from like life experience, if I could help someone better their life in any way, I would. That's something I love to do. Um, we'll see with like how far I can go with coaching, but
yeah.
it's definitely something I love to do and will continue to do.
I can see
Uh,
it, bro. I peep it. I mean,
yeah,
just even hearing you talk and
yeah,
making this podcast and stuff is it's cool, man. Like and just seeing your posts on Instagram, like I follow all your stuff. Like
yeah.
seems like you're doing an amazing job. You guys went pretty far one of the years, right?
Yeah. We fell a little 2 years ago. We lost in the championship game, but
Yeah. Okay.
we'll be back. We're working towards it. But
Yeah.
do you play at all anymore? Like whether it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
men's
Yeah.
league, pick up anything, you play a lot.
Yeah. I play
Yeah,
a good amount of men's league and stuff. Like staying in shape and stuff. It's a good way,
yeah,
and like I still love to hoop.
yeah.
So I play a good amount.
That's
Um,
awesome.
what do you find like is the like one of the biggest aspects in coaching of like what do you think is like one of the most important things? I'm curious of like how to be a good coach or like how to
So for me, it's less like X's and O's stuff. Like you do need to know that to succeed, but it's more like relationships. Like what I found is like when you can connect with people and kids, especially on like a personal level, and show them that you care about them in terms of basketball, but also like off the court, like they're willing to do anything for you. Like they will take your word and listen to anything you have to say. They'll be willing to run through a wall for you. So it's really just like relationships and showing them that, like I can't promise you're going to play 25 minutes a game, but like I promise that I will be someone that you could rely on and lean on for the rest of your life. So like it's really the relationship side of it. And I feel like that translates to basketball stuff as well.
damn bro I couldn't agree more, bro. I think my experience in college, I think a lot of my life I'll reflect on like times that I wish I had something or times that like I I do a lot of reflecting, and so I think in college, like one of my things was, I wish I could have been like closer to my coaches, or I wish my coaches, could have been. But like college, it's a business type thing, and like that's how it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that's just not how I live my life. So I couldn't agree more. Like I think I think it's all about relationships. And damn, bro, that now you hit it right on. Like, I literally, if I could take everything you said, I would say I
Yeah,
like, for example, like, and I'm sure you do a lot of things, and I'm not someone to throw at like a bunch of things I do, but um, I would drive a couple of kids to school Monday through Friday when I would go to work, and I would drop them off at school. Um,
yeah,
you know, and so, and just through that time, like, it's building the relationship. Like, I think it's so important. Like, I think you can't talk to every kid the same. You have 13 kids on the team. Like, you might be able to say this to one kid and that might motivate them, but
yeah,
that might not be the same way. And I think understanding that, whether it's coaching, um, man, whatever it is, working with people like that is super important to understand that, like, not everyone's the same. Everyone's got their own past shit and trauma, and everyone takes, coaching and criticism differently.
hundred
And
percent.
so I think to understand how to really articulate things to people and what fires some people up, what's like a little sensitive to some people, is like extremely valuable in coaching, I've learned. And I think that's kind of what you're articulating, is you can't even get to that level if you don't know the players.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And it's also like the advantage of being a young coach. Like, I feel like we could relate way more to
Yeah.
17, 18-year-old kids than like someone that hasn't played in 50 years could. Um,
Would
but
you ever, would you, that's my next question though. Would it ever be like hard? Um, like, would sometimes, because you were younger, it'd be kind of hard getting that like respect as like, this is my coach. Like, all right, I gotta like, for me, it kind of was challenging at times with my team
yeah,
when I first started.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, that's definitely something I've struggled with too, especially at first because I first started coaching high school basketball in 2021.
Oh, so you were like
So
21, 20?
no, I was born in '98, so I was like
Oh, okay.
23.
You're a year older. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 23, but still like 23 trying to coach an 18-year-old kid is challenging at first. But again, like it's like a type of thing. If you're mature enough about it and you respect the kids, they'll respect you. And if you show them that you care about them, then they'll listen to what you have to say. And like just goes back again to the relationship thing. Like if you show them you care, they'll care about you too.
Yeah.
But
No,
last
100%, man.
last question I have for you here. If you could go back in time to talk to your younger self, is there any advice that you would give yourself as in terms of basketball as a basketball player, whether it be like coming out of high school when you're in college, whatever it may be?
Yeah, I think I would have the recruitment thing. I would have been like, dude, spam some emails in class, spam out
Yeah,
an email, like whatever, dude. Lunchtime in high school, that
yeah,
would have been one. And I think another thing is just like work harder, man. You don't get to do it forever. I think my freshman year, um, you know, despite my coach at college had a way of like getting under skin and motivating. He was good at that. I think it's a good
yeah,
quality of his. And my freshman year, I had a lot to chew on. And so even though I was in a spot where, the odds were kind of against me, my sophomore year, going freshman year and then going into that summer, entering my sophomore year, like I would wake up at 5 a.m. and be like the first to the gym. I would work out. I never asked for anything. I never asked for a manager to work me out. Um, Never asked for anything. I would just get up every day and work out. Like I'd get to the gym 4:45, 5. And I think that's the dream right there, is that whole journey. Like this, although my career came up short in college of how I envisioned it, super grateful for it. Um, I wouldn't be who I am without honestly that moment of like, just like, if you love something and it's your passion, then just do it. And it doesn't
yeah,
matter if there's other people helping you, this and that, if it's about you. And I wish I just knew that it didn't matter the opinions of others. But I like this and I think I have a chance, and just keep working. And that's what it's about, and who you become along the way. And I think that year of growth of like getting up early by myself, working out. I was also like working a job and too, and that grind right there, I think led me to be a better man and who I am
yeah,
today. And also why, like, just why a lot of things. So I think I would have just told myself, like, just keep going. Cause I think I kind of stopped at the end of last year. I felt like, you know, had a few different things, um, but yeah, I just would have been like, dude, if you like it, this is the journey. This is the beauty right here. It's
yeah.
not the result. This is where you figure yourself out, man. So I think I just would have told myself to keep going. So yeah,
I,
I think those are two things.
I love that you say that. Like, kind of like if you love something, give it your all. Like, don't if you're gonna do something, do it. Like, don't half-ass it. You're either doing
Yeah,
it or you're not doing it. And I'm sure that that's like led to lessons and like skills and stuff that you could that translates to stuff beyond basketball. I'm sure you could use it in business and in whatever other endeavors.
yeah,
But definitely a great message there.
yeah.
But all right, thanks for your time, Kevin. I appreciate you coming on the pod to talk about your journey in basketball. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna be hyped to see all the episodes you come out with. I will definitely be a fan of it. I followed right when you dropped it on Instagram, so
Yeah,
I'm hyped,
appreciate
man.
that.
Love what you're doing.
Appreciate that. All right, thanks for tuning into today's episode. I appreciate the support. If you could please follow on Instagram at the Sixth Man Podcast. Please like, subscribe, rate, all that good stuff on whichever platform you use, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We'll be back next week with another episode. Thanks.